Are you stuck? Do you feel like you're just existing, not truly living? Do you wake up every morning with the same sense of frustration, the same sense of hopelessness, and go through your day hoping that today is the day something changes, but it never does? If that sounds familiar, I have some hard truths for you, and I'm not here to sugarcoat things. You are wasting your life. Now, I know those words might sting a little, but I'm not saying this to bring you down or make you feel bad. I'm saying this because it's the wake-up call you need. You see, too many people spend their entire lives stuck in a rut, waiting for something external to change, but the reality is that nothing will change until you do. And the longer you stay stuck, the more of your life you're going to waste. Here's the thing, you have one life. That's it. No matter what you believe in, no matter what your philosophy is, you don't get a second shot. There is no reset button, and there's no guarantee that tomorrow will be any different from today. If you're stuck, then it's time to look inside yourself and figure out why you're stuck, and more importantly, what you're going to do about it. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I'm trying. I'm working hard. I'm doing everything I can. But if you really take a close look, you'll realize that even your hard work might not be enough because it's not the kind of work that gets you out of the rut you're in. It's not the kind of work that pushes you forward into growth. And that's the issue. You're not growing. And without growth, you're always going to stay where you are, no matter how hard you try to escape. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's break down why you're stuck and why you feel like you're wasting time. But instead of pointing fingers or blaming external circumstances, I want you to focus on one thing, yourself. Because if you're going to break free from being stuck, the first person you have to confront is you. For most people, the reason they're stuck is because they've settled. And I mean really settled. They've gotten comfortable with where they are. Comfort becomes a silent prison. It doesn't seem like much at first. In fact, it might feel like relief. But comfort is like quicksand. It holds you in place, slowly pulling you under without you even realizing it. The more you stay in your comfort zone, the more it seems safe. But comfort is not growth, and comfort is not success. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone? When was the last time you did something that scared you, something that felt impossible? If you can't remember the last time you took that leap, it's time to face the truth. Comfort is why you're stuck. And until you embrace discomfort, until you stop avoiding fear, you will never break free. Take Elon Musk, for example. Elon could have easily stayed at PayPal, made his money, lived comfortably, and done just fine. But that wasn't enough for him. He wanted more. He wanted to build things that no one else thought were possible. He wanted to go to Mars. So he took risks. He invested everything he had into SpaceX, even when people told him it was a terrible idea. He wasn't willing to live comfortably. He knew that in order to change the world, he had to step out of his comfort zone. And guess what? Now, SpaceX is one of the most innovative companies in the world, and Musk is a billionaire. And while many of us are stuck in the daily grind, Elon is making history. Why? Because he embraced discomfort and chose to grow. He refused to stay stuck. But here's the thing. Comfort is not the only thing holding you back. Another big reason most people are stuck is the fear of failure. People are terrified to fail. They believe that failure defines them, and they avoid it at all costs. But let me tell you something. Failure is not something to be afraid of. Failure is the teacher you need. Let's talk about Steve Jobs for a minute. Steve Jobs is an icon in the tech world, right? But do you know what happened to him before he created the iPhone, before he became the visionary we all know? He got fired from the very company he founded, Apple. Jobs was kicked out of Apple, and many people thought his career was over. But Steve didn't let that failure define him. Instead, he took that moment, turned it into fuel, and went on to create Next and Pixar, both of which were successful in their own right. And when Apple later acquired Next, Jobs returned to Apple and completely revolutionized the tech industry. Imagine if Steve Jobs had let his failure at Apple stop him. Imagine if he had given up on his dreams because he was afraid of failing again. We wouldn't have iPhones, iPads, or iMacs today. Failure was the lesson that propelled Jobs forward. And here's where I want you to get real with yourself. How many times have you avoided trying something new or taking a risk because you were afraid of failing? How many dreams have you buried because you were afraid you'd fail? Let me tell you, failure is part of the journey. If you're not failing, you're not trying. And if you're not trying, you're not living. So, stop letting fear control you. Stop letting the fear of failure keep you stuck where you are. Embrace failure. Learn from it. Use it to grow. Now, I know some of you are sitting there thinking, but what if I fail over and over again? What if nothing works? Here's the truth. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the closer you get to success. It's a cycle, and it's a cycle that only those who are willing to keep trying get to experience. You're not stuck because of your failures. You're stuck because you're afraid of them. Let me give you an example from my own life. There was a time when I felt completely stuck. I was going through the motions, working hard every day, but nothing seemed to be clicking. I felt like I was doing everything right, but still I wasn't seeing the results. I kept telling myself that success was just around the corner, but I wasn't truly changing anything. That's when I realized it wasn't the work I was doing that was holding me back. It was my mindset. I had to face the reality that I was playing it safe. I wasn't taking risks, I wasn't pushing myself, and I wasn't growing. I had to step outside my comfort zone, just like I'm encouraging you to do now. And when I did that, when I started failing, when I started taking those risks, that's when things changed. So, let's recap. You're stuck because you're comfortable, and you're stuck because you're afraid of failure. But there's one more thing that's keeping you in this rut. You're waiting for the perfect moment. Here's the harsh truth. There is no perfect moment. There will never be a moment when everything is lined up perfectly for you to start living your best life. You will never have all the answers, you will never have perfect conditions, and you will never feel ready. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect, you will stay stuck forever. Success doesn't come when the stars align. It comes when you take action, even when it feels messy. It comes when you start with what you have, where you are, and work your way up from there. So stop waiting. Start now. And that brings us to the most important point. You're in control. The reason you're stuck isn't because of external circumstances, it's because of how you choose to respond to them. You are the reason you're stuck. And the good news is you are also the reason you can get unstuck. You can make a choice right now to stop waiting, to stop being afraid, and to stop staying comfortable. You can choose to take the next step. Your life is happening right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Every moment you spend stuck, every moment you spend waiting, is a moment you'll never get back. Don't waste it. You have one life. Make it count. If this video inspired you or gave you the push you needed, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a video that could change your life. Don't forget to like this video. It helps more people discover this message and could make a difference in someone else's life. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today, and let me know in the comments. What's the first step you're going to take to stop wasting your life? I'd love to hear your thoughts and cheer you on as you take action. Remember, you're not stuck. You're in control. See you in the next video. Let's crush it together.